Welcome to the podcast, the third time we're doing it today. Only quality for you guys.
Yeah.
Corey has survived her surgery.
Barely, but I am here alive in the flesh. You're welcome. I'm back for a 473rd podcast episode. It feels
Do you know
like
which one this is?
281.
Whoa, 209.
Oh, very close.
But I like where you're at.
There,
Speaking
I hacked
of
it. I
that,
hacked it.
We'll be talking about goals in a second.
Yes.
But Corey, give us a quick intro to the podcast.
Welcome to the Baking It Down with Sugar Cookie Marketing Podcast. We're actually a spinoff of a group that is on Facebook. It's called the Sugar Cookie Marketing Group. If you haven't joined, please do. What I told Heather one day is, you know what? What I like to do while I am baking is listen to something. Anything other than my heavy breathing would be great. So I either listen to podcasts.
You don't think the macarons like to hear you?
No, if you breathe in their general direction, they know. If I listen to podcasts, shows. So we said, hey, there's bakers out there wanting to grow their business, but they're knee deep and elbow deep in flour and can't necessarily access the Facebook group. Let's bring up a podcast once a week, one topic a week. And that is how this was born.
Which brings us to today's one topic.
One topic, which is a good one.
I was watching Diary of CEO.
Yes.
It's just a guy who interviews people who are smarter than me.
Okay.
I like watching it. And I'm going to slaughter the guy getting interviewed's name.
Okay.
He is a PhD from Harvard. He actually gives up everything in his life in his 20s and goes to India to study with a guru, comes back here and takes that knowledge and applies it to teaching these kind of basics of psychology and mental health to online gamers, specifically boys.
That's interesting.
Right. So I was listening to an excerpt of his interview, Dr. Alok Kanojia. You can say I slaughtered that. I was close. I sounded it out with that vowels and the noun. And he said, the problem with big goals is they're too big. They're big, grandiose, they're fun to say, but they're unaccomplishable because they're too broad.
They're vast.
So he said, and I thought this was a really neat approach and I wanted to talk about it today. Take your goal and half it. Take the half and half it.
Okay.
So
give us an example.
Let's say you, I know you've been baking macarons recently for some reason.
They're back in season.
Macaron season has started in the spring. Okay, so let's say somebody's like, oh, I don't know how to bake macarons. If I want to sell macarons at my market in 2 weeks.
Okay.
That's a massive goal, especially the people who are listening to this and are like wincing when I just said in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Macarons learning curve. You have to learn how to talk to them. You have to give them sweet nothings.
You do. And the seasons change and your macaron strategy will change.
This is Corey's current hell she's
know.
living in. So then we'd say, let's half that. Well, I want to learn to bake macarons. Okay, well, that's better because we took the time constraint off of it.
Yes.
Right? We want to learn. Let's half that. Okay, I want to purchase the basic tools needed to make macarons.
Yeah.
All of that supports
is
that
good.
massive goal of
Yeah.
selling next week. We're not selling next week, that's clear. It supports the goal of learning how to bake them, massive goal, but not time constrained. And then I'm sourcing products. That one, not as sexy. You're not going to be like, hey guys, I want to let everybody know I am now
Got my baking sheet.
I've got a baking sheet and a little template to make the shells, but I have no clue what to do with that. But that's not as sexy as I'm selling macarons at the market on Friday.
Yeah.
Right. But it is the half of the half that moves us towards the whole.
I see a lot of bakers on their bakery pages will be like, in the works, I'm thinking about selling macarons, but like they've never made them before. And it'll be one single post and then we'll never hear about macarons ever again.
Macarons took another prisoner, not alive. So we have these massive goals. Now let's apply it to marketing, right? I want to turn Facebook into my number one lead source. Massive, honorable, difficult,
Yes.
broad.
Yeah.
Okay, let's half it. I want to turn community groups into a lead source for my business. So we are no longer our number one lead source. We're just adding an additional lead source. We're not using all of Facebook. We're using a specific aspect.
Yeah.
of Facebook.
Easier to do. More focused.
More focused. Let's half that again. What would that look like for you? And that's going to be unique to each person. What would half of I want to turn community groups into a lead source for my bakery business look like to you?
I'm going to do one about town recommendation in a group I want to focus on.
There's a ton of work behind that. And I love it because it is right that you know exactly what the word is.
Yeah.
Corey's got to leave her house. She's got to go with a camera. She's likely going to cookify some local business.
Yeah.
She's going to take that picture in front of it. I think we did it. Claire's on the Depot. We drove out to Warrenton. We took the picture. You made the cookie. Met the owners. Then you go and you make the post about it.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, she is growing her reach on Facebook in a local community group. If she repeats that multiple times, she's going to turn community groups in a lead source. Over time, it will become her number one lead source.
Sure.
But we know what she needs to do this weekend.
Uh-huh. You know which one I see a lot often mentioned in the sugar cookie marketing group?
Let's hear it.
Want to open a brick and mortar.
Sexy, broad. I love it.
Love it. What a goal.
Could you imagine seeing a building with your brand name
could
on
not.
it? Could you imagine giving someone an address where they can show up and you turn on the lights and it's your building?
I could not. It's a gorgeous, very lovely goal.
It's so massive.
It's massively large.
In the Cookie College, Heather Campbell Brookshire and Kim, I call her Kim M. Sims.
Yeah.
Kim M. Sims opened up a brick and mortar and it has really brought us along to the whole journey. It was a franchise.
Yeah, I tuned in for the whole hour.
It's
live
my favorite
about it.
reality show.
Yeah.
She had and I think I mentioned this, an inflatable latte that the franchise lets them borrow. Someone shot it.
She said
shot the
only in
latte.
Texas. And she was not alarmed about this.
It's a latte.
Anyways,
when you listen to her, she's like, this is more work than I ever imagined possible in my life. Okay, that's a big, massive goal. What would half of that look like?
half of that would be, what income do I need to make in my bakery or have saved up in order to
Go full-time.
Go full-time.
Not brick and mortar.
No.
Full-time baker.
Right.
Full-time cottage in-home baker.
Yeah.
Love that. Now what's half of that?
Half of that would be, could I hire either an extra baker or a VA, a virtual assistant, to take some of the workload off of me currently to see if this is...
Buy you more time to explore the avenues to have this as a replaced full-time income.
Yeah.
I love it. That one, still big, and you can keep having them if you want. But hiring a VA, doable. You can come to the Sugar Cookie Marketing Facebook group and say, hey guys, I'm interested in hiring a virtual assistant. What should I ask?
Not a grandiose question, let me tell you.
You're not gonna be the poster child for the most viral post made in the Sugar Cookie
When
Marketing
someone
group.
says in the group, what did you do to open a brick and mortar? The tips.
I took out a small business loan. I located a commercial leasing agent. I quit my day. They're so broad.
Yeah.
But it feels great because it's so broad. You'll get a lot more answers.
Because it's so broad, though, those answers aren't as helpful
As
half
and half.
and halving it.
Right. Because Corey's going to say, well, I'm going to hire a virtual assistant. Hey, guys, what task can a virtual assistant take? Not a ton of people have virtual assistants.
Yeah.
They're all dreaming about brick and mortars, though.
Yeah, they are.
But you're doing the intermediary work to get to that brick and mortar. And that work is going to be having that goal and having it. Again, I do really like making goals more edible.
Yeah, edible. I mean, even oftentimes a lot of people are like, I don't need a virtual assistant. I like to do everything myself. Okay, here's the one that I see. What question should I ask an accountant that I'm looking to hire? Your accountant is something you're going to have if you do have a brick and mortar. There's so many moving pieces and parts.
Are you, have you ever been fraudulently filing? Things we wish we would have asked the last accountant.
But finding a good accountant now while you're
that's going to be a necessity. We know you have to have it with your brick and mortar.
Yes.
Okay, give me another non-brick, not a smaller goal that you see common.
A smaller goal that is it dealing with baking or is it dealing? Okay, a lot of people I want to go and to my weekly markets that happen in the summer.
So becoming a farmer's market vendor. Love it. Very good goal. Broad, but more narrow than the brick and mortar.
Yeah.
Okay, what would half of that be? To me,
how can I? Oh, you can go with yours.
No, I like yours.
What can I buy to help me up my production so I can bring enough to a market?
I like that
like
one.
A freezer.
Alternate half, because I don't think this should be a fourth, is what physical things do I need to be able to vend? Because that's a massive cost.
Yeah. Yeah. And a lot of people who want to do the markets don't realize that upfront cost. 1, the vendor fee. 2, the insurance. 3, the table and the tents,
stands,
the
air
cars
conditioning,
to get things
chairs
there.
if you want to sit, coolers if you want to keep your
POS system.
I always think POS system.
Yeah, I
hilarious.
know. But I do love saying
Piece
it.
of sales. Point of sales. Delete. Oh no, they weren't searching. They were asking about making sales. I think even half of that is, hey guys, I would not even write this I would write this in a community group. I would say, hey, what are your favorite farmers markets? That one is going to allow you to find the vendor. And we did a podcast on, that would be my half of the half.
Yeah.
Taking that podcast and asking people who have been vendors there, going to the market myself, polling my community groups to see which one. I think that was a good half of the half because it gets you to the, okay, what materials do I need to vend here? And then it gets you to, I vend at this farmer's market every week.
Yeah. I think that is a good way to approach these big dreams and make these dreams actually a doable dream versus just words that you like to say.
Yes. I said one. Here's a broad one. I want to learn how to draw and Procreate. Obviously, this is the thorn in my flesh I've dragged around
This has
with
been
me.
years and years and years.
Half of that, I want to learn a specific drawing style. Half of that, I signed up for a drawing club.
You did.
Or the Kawaii Cuties.
Yes.
And I drew a pencil. And if you're watching YouTube, I'll show you what that pencil looks like. That one came from the old noggin.
No, but you really halved it. For years, you have said, I want to draw and Procreate.
Well, that's too broad.
Yeah.
When you open Procreate, when you download it for this $10 one-time fee, there's like 5 auto-populated artworks from other people to inspire you. I want to be like, Procreate. That's not inspiring.
Yeah.
That's devastating.
Yeah.
I can barely get my pencil to make a straight line without a squiggle in it. That artwork that should be hanging in a Mona
It's showing
Lisa.
you what is out. It's a big old goal.
Yeah, it's too big. If I half that and half it wouldn't still be small enough.
Yeah.
But we can have it. So what my goal and my half goal is going to look wildly different than Corey's and we're twins.
Yeah.
So what that looks like to you, probably a good indicator that you've halved and halved enough is it's not something you want to brag about.
Yes. It's not juicy. It's not
You're
a conversation
probably not going to go to the
topic.
family dinner and be like, guys, I want to let everybody know I paid $20 for Kawaii Cooties Club.
Yeah, you're probably not going to post it on your Facebook page.
Right.
I got
Yeah, we're opening a brick and mortar.
Sounds
Post.
way better.
I asked a question about an accountant and we have an interview set up on Friday. No, us actually, although we in the Sugar Cookie marketing group would appreciate it, it's not going to be that braggadocious thing. And I dated this guy Corey hated. If you go back.
Which one?
And he was I think we talked about it, kind of the ideas guy. And I think that ideas thing really plays into, I think it was 2 podcasts ago, last podcast.
Yeah.
Nobody likes a party pooper.
I know. Yeah. And ideas are fun to talk about.
If you half your idea and then half it again, I don't think it's as fun to talk about, but it's very doable.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I want to, Heather Campbell Berkshire's teaching at 3 p.m. today in the Cookie College, a Facebook Live on Eddie photo booth software.
Yeah, so it looked fantastic, her little setup.
So I want to use Eddie as a photo booth. Okay. Do you have an Eddie?
You're going to have to get out of the box, girl.
The half would be like getting Eddie and making corporate sales. Yeah. The half of that would be, how do I purchase an Eddie without taking on debt?
Yeah.
To me. That would be my goal, right? So we would take that math. I want it to be a photo booth Eddie at a wedding. Love it. It's going to be a high margin item. You're going to have to be there. It's a lot of fun. Corey and I tried it out.
Yeah.
It was hard.
What's difficult?
Half of that, still difficult. Half of that, how do I afford an Eddie? I'm going to start taking pieces of my order and applying it to that. How am I going to budget for an Eddie? I use You Need a Budget app myself, or Wine app.
Yeah.
And you can apply that. So again, less sexy, but it paves this way in a real...
to say those words? You've said it 52 times.
If you add the Y, I think it's allowable.
Is it?
I do not know.
Let
and
me
if
just
it's
preface
not,
by an apology.
Is that better?
Oh,
I added a letter. What would you say?
Attractive.
A hot girl. A tall glass of cold gold. But I think that is how you're going to be able to move yourself forward. It's kind of a lonely road. You get a lot more help, a lot more specific help. It's not as getting like reacts on Facebook.
You're right. The responses are going to be a lot more tailored. So while whatever ways I can open a brick and mortar, you're going to get like 100 comments of people spitballing with you. What questions to ask an accountant, you're probably going to get solid 4 good recs.
I will be one of them. Here's one I've been working on personally. Because we're going to speak at the What's Popping conference.
Yeah.
I love telling people,
What's
what are you doing
Poppin'
speaking?
Con?
What's Popping Con 2025?
Yeah.
Got to do a speech for 1 hour. So I've got a lofty goal. I got to speak for 1 hour. And that's not even a major goal, right? But it's a goal I can still half and quarter because I actually had to do it all this week.
Yeah.
I have to speak at What's Popping conference on using local community groups to generate leads. Okay. How do I half that? Well, I was like, okay, well, I need to write this thing. Okay, let's do 3 segments. My intro, outro is going to be 5 and 5 minutes. So I got 10 minutes. We're only speaking for 45 and then a Q&A. So I've got, 35 minutes of a body here. Okay, how would I have that? And that's kind of what outlining does for you is you're taking this big concept, you're breaking it into parts, and then you're breaking those parts into parts.
So it is technically outlining. You have your
prime, your one, your sub of the sub, and then all those support the primary goal. Yeah, so when I kind of think of things in terms of outlining, by that, you got with the Roman numeral, then the big A, then the little A, and then the little numbers are however the thing is. I'll open up Word but by the time you get to the little A is the goal that you work on right now.
Yeah.
It's the little A and the little B that lead to the big A and the big B that lead to the 1 and the 2, right? And when you get to the 1, then you've reached the big goal.
Yeah, I agree. Archer has a project due next Friday.
Okay.
He just said the words, I have a project due next Friday.
The only way the man knows how to communicate to you.
I said, you're going to have to break that down for me,
You're going to have to take your big goal. This is due by Friday, and you're going to have to make it half real quick.
Yeah, and he said, make a dish from around the world. Okay. Still big.
Half.
Still large.
Okay, now which country in which dish?
And I said, can we decide which country was dish? And he said, yeah. I said, macarons, baby.
Francais it is. Maybe Swedish.
Mostly because I already got them in the freezer ready to roll. But it made it so much more doable because I was like, this is going to be overwhelming. What do I have to do? Because a child's project is a parent's project. That is what I've come to learn. No. He's not going to buy the poster board.
Right. Yeah.
But breaking it down into those smaller things made it a lot more palatable for me and Archer.
Palatable
because we're eating it.
Palatable? That was a couple previews of this podcast. I don't think this is the first time we used it in this version.
I know. You're welcome.
Dare we say instead of breaking it down, we're baking it down?
With sugar cookie marketing.
Outro music. So I would say if you could think this week, because really, having to break down that speech into parts that make sense for people that they can follow is a mind game, like a what do you call it when you used to do those races that were really hard?
Oh, Spartan race?
It was like a Spartan race for your mind because you're like, okay, I need to win the race. Okay, I need to get through these parts. What exercises do I need to be able to get to these parts of this race to be able to finish it? When you really break it down to those small sections, you're just at the gym doing jumping jacks again. Carrying logs around.
I wouldn't know. I didn't prep correctly.
So you can see that. And when I had to take that thought, okay, this is what our concept was.
Yeah.
How can I make this in pieces and how can I make those pieces value added and worth listening to, which is a struggle.
Hey, what we're on?
Corey previewed this.
I thought it was fantastic.
Yeah, Corey had all these commentators. Let's add that.
And you said that was good.
I changed it already, girl.
That
I already changed it. And if you're wondering what we're talking about at What's Poppin' Con, the podcast after next week, so next Tuesday, will be on that material.
Yes.
Because Corey and I have been setting local community groups.
On both sides. Both sides of the aisle.
Being in them, being on them, being beat down by them.
Being the target of them.
And they are a strategy, but boy, could they be a powerhouse of the sale.
Honestly.
We should call it the powerhouse of the sale.
Oh, I like it. We're keeping it.
See you guys on Tuesday. So moving on, let's go to these stupid questions. Do you know what is so funny?
What? I would love to laugh.
Last week, the winner of the stupid card trade was yet again Deb.
Are you kidding?
I said, girl, she's like, I'm sorry. She's like, you keep winning. I said, you are proof to me that consistency is key.
Over time.
So she was like, yeah, I don't want one. She's like, all right, I have one. She's won 4 times.
Because she always texts in.
Because she really wants her questions answered.
Well, Deb, honestly,
Genius.
Appreciate you. Girl.
Yeah, that was great.
Yeah.
She's like, maybe I'll go play the lottery after this. I said, I'm going to sing you have to. Okay, we have a bunch of texting questions. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. This one was texted in to 571-556. Yeah, come on, girl. I wonder if it is. Last time I think she used the button.
Oh,
so
okay.
it gave us, she was from Alvin.
Okay.
Okay, this one, the winner is 513 area code. If you email Heather at sugarcookiemarketing.com.
That's an up north. Are you looking up the zip code?
What do you think it is?
I'm going to say Rhode Island.
I'm going to say channel near your ex-husband.
Ohio.
Cincinnati.
Cincinnati.
Which will be in Ohio this weekend for K-Pop Con.
Yes.
Rick, if you hear me, come see us. Hi, favorite twin. Rod. I like it. How would you advertise a quote-unquote limited drop? Like, would you word it? How would you word that in social media? How far in advance would you start marketing?
So it depends where, are you one who does limited drops often? Because then you could do them a lot closer to when you actually do the drop. If this is something that's new for you that you're offering, you're going to have to warm the audience up a little bit. You got to
Can I be bold here? Is a limited drop a pre-sale with a limitation on total sales?
But I think you're never going to offer it again. Limited. So it could be a flavor, like.
Well, an example, Owala
Yes.
cups.
One of
As our little sister in
Yeah.
the chokehold. Did you see she got another one?
I did not.
There's only so many ways you can imbibe water.
I'm trying to be the opposite of her in my life. I have one water bottle.
Yeah. And that's how many you probably should have.
Yeah.
I have more than one myself.
You do?
Our older sister is diagnosed with ADHD, and her ADHD doctor said you can allow yourself to over purchase on a simple item, and she chose water bottles.
Really?
And I think for some reason it's so I said,
I'll
yeah,
get the storage hard.
No. Water bottle management is a
Cleaning.
full-time job.
Yeah, that's why I felt like
water
I could
bottle
only...
straw management, also a full-time job. Even half the goal, and it's still overwhelming.
Yeah.
So Owala does these limited drops, and I think that was the important thing is they do not sell that color ever again.
Yes.
So what they do is they hype it, and launch it.
Yeah. I mean, they're sending emails about it. You're getting text about it. Granted, they do have fanfare over their water bottles in general.
They built the hype around it with the limited drop of they have a software that allows you to stand in a digital queue to see if you're chosen. And when Summer's chosen, it's like a gambler hitting the jackpot.
It's the same thing with CookieCon. You know,
Yeah,
they
that's
have
cute.
the limited drop of tickets. It's a limited amount. Granted, it only happens once a year, so it is a little bit reoccurring.
But it follows that same thing where the hype, so it's front-loading marketing.
Yeah.
So you're front-loading FOMO, right? So we're going to build them up. Hey, you guys don't want to miss out on this. I always sell out of this. This is something I'm never going to sell again. Now, the weird part to me, what would never be sold again?
So you could do specific flavors. Like I know
That's a good one.
Whipsy had sold, they don't sell it anymore, salted caramel, powdered sugar.
That seems like such a good one.
I know. So when I found out that she was no longer going to be selling anymore, asterisk, I think, is what I remember her saying.
The key would be, okay, let's say Whipsy, like you guys bent my arm. I'm going to sell more. You can't keep doing that because then you're seeing.
You got about one or two of those.
Yeah. So if you said limited drop, we sold out, and then guys were bringing back one more Owala drop of this, I don't know, whatever she got on it. I think she got cherries on it.
Yeah, so it could be flavoring. You just have to make sure what you're going to do, just like Owala does. You're going to feature the different aspects that would make someone want this, whether it be the flavoring, the color of it, the packaging part of it.
Reviews about it. Everyone loves this. That's why I sell out, but I only do it one time a year. I think opening it, I only do this once a year would give you flexibility to do it again without seeming like dishonest or like, oh, this is a trope to get us to buy like that. Oops, forgot the link. So I like that one. Limited drop. I like that you differentiated flavors versus a big product. Because what if it did sell well?
I know.
And we'd want to sell more.
I know.
Something you can do, it's not my favorite, but it's like a hybrid of this. If this sells well, I'll bring it to my menu. But if not, this is the only time I'll get it. California
52.
Pizza Kitchen tried it on us.
California Pizza
And
Kitchen.
they were like, go right to corporate. I was like, you lost me right there. Take away the fish dish. I'm not going to fight for it. So, yeah, that's just some things you can consider.
Yeah.
I do like that one. You are the winner of this week's Stupid Card Trade. You have 7 days, 513 in Cincinnati. To claim your trade, just email me at heather@sugarcookiemarketing.com, the rest of your phone number, and I'll connect you to Phil. If you did not win the Stupid Card Trade, you can use code Capital Sugar. They're running a Mother's Day sale.
Stop.
Phil said the code is stackable, meaning if they're already running a sale and you use the code SUGAR for 15% off, you can stack
I am
the discounts.
going to buy one for myself for Mother's Day.
Get a V3. Get the silicone add-on.
Okay.
I like the cup inserts for your one water bottle.
Do I really do?
I put like crab in there.
Crudleys.
Hot.
I'm trying to limit the things in my life that allow me to buy extra. Yeah.
Okay, I don't know.
Yeah. So
yeah,
maybe.
I don't know. That's a good one.
I know. But I do like getting a 32-ounce Smoothie King smoothie.
Well, then I hate to
and
say
it can't fit in my little thing.
They have two options. They have one for a mug. Don't get that one.
Okay.
It has a cutouts for the mug handle.
Oh, yeah, I don't need that.
No, get the solid guy.
Okay.
And he's an insert. He's an add-on. I think the code works for the add-ons as well.
Okay, well, I'll let you know.
This is a text from Douglas, Georgia. Not a winner, but you could pull a Deb and maybe win next week.
Yes.
She said, hey, twins, y'all are so helpful. And I swear every podcast you do is speaking directly to me. I reached out to a local brewery in Alaska, and I'm in the process of scheduling a cookie class with them at no cost to me. Thank you for helping me with that email and the cookie college. Okay, great. I know exactly what you're talking about. It's so crazy because your text is from Douglas, Georgia, but your class is in Alaska.
She could have moved.
She was like, listen, I don't like competition.
She could have moved.
I'm going to differentiate by teaching in the farthest western area. Okay, whatever. I really like it. I love that you're teaching in Alaska. Is there an Alaska, Georgia?
Oh, there could be. But let me explain. In the college, we actually have, we have the cookie class kits. It's everything you need to teach a cookie class. But in the college, you get a more in-depth how to reach out to venues to teach a cookie class, a script to follow during a cookie class, templates that you need to email out and things like that are in the cookie class. So she's in the college and she took one of the templates that's how to reach out to a venue that puts it in a venue's what's beneficial to a venue.
And kind of in a way, without directly saying it, where we don't bring up paying for the venue.
Yes.
Unless they do.
Yes.
In which case, okay, then you play ball.
It's a little song and dance.
A little song and dance. I'm like, hey, here's what I can bring you. Why wouldn't you want me? You want this. You want this limited drop. I am your limited Owala drop.
It's psychology talking to a place that you need to use, but benefits you both.
And I think that's like sometimes we work with brick and mortars sometimes in marketing, and I'll get copied on an email and it'll be like, I need your space. Like, why?
You lost me. It's not even my place.
Almost is like, even if I was open to it, it's not my brick and mortar, but even if I was open to it, the way you asked, now you can't have it.
Yeah.
Well, I don't want you to have it. So we could say, I would love to bring these people to your space.
Yeah.
And that's how those templates are worded in the Cookie College. I think we have 5, a winery, a brewery, coffee shop, cafe, kitchen remodeling showroom, because that's what we use, and then a shared workspace, which always requires money.
Yeah.
But I'm sure you can wheel and deal with a shared workspace.
And we wielded it and dealed.
And we got some free cleanup hours.
We did.
Okay, I like that one. Also, no Alaska, Georgia.
Oh. Well, you go, girl. I think she just moved from hot Georgia to cold Alaska. She said, I can't deal with this.
I would prefer to imagine she's commuting to Alaska for this class.
Personally. I like that. Mm-hmm. It's free to her to use the space, but there will be.
The takeaway, there's a brewery out there that won't charge you. That's a big takeaway. Another text in. Hi, twins. I love your podcast, and I'm a newbie cookier. Thinking ahead to Q4 for our cookie Super Bowl, is Halloween or Thanksgiving generally big sellers, or is it just December holidays? Girl, buckle up.
It is Halloween. I want to say Halloween and Christmas, great for classes.
I think Thanksgiving is too. I just don't like to teach on our birth month.
It could be, definitely, but I do see it more as hostess with the mostest gifts, teacher gifts, things like that, things you're bringing.
Anybody that's either traveling or needs to entertain rambunctious kids, a class will
DIY kits in Thanksgiving, always
in our Christmas classes, we have people just buying the DIY kits, and I know they're like, here, kids, let me not hear from you.
Yeah.
Here is, and I'm so happy to be able to give you this answer. Back to school is the warning trumpet. Get your then we move into Halloween, which I love is the last day.
I love it.
I love that's the last day of October because you just got a little over the September back to schoolisms.
Yeah.
Then we have 4 full weeks of October. That's the warm up.
Yeah.
We start seeing that graph start that dramatic curve up. By Thanksgiving, we're like the high dives, we're halfway up.
Yes.
That high dive. By December, we're at the top and dive.
We're doing our perfect
swan dive. No puddle in the splash. So I would say Q4 actually starts at the end of Q3.
Yeah.
And Q4 is so much different than the rest of the year. If you're a new cookier, you will be shocked by the difference. That year-end thing is the time where you gather hay while the sun's a shining.
Yeah.
Because in the doldrums that we're entering now, that money there is going to pad your business expenses until we reach back to Q4.
Yeah. What you do now, though, as a new cookier, what you do now is going to lay the path of your Q4. Because I see some bakers are like, well, I didn't sell anything for Christmas, but I go to their page, they posted once. Like, you have got to cultivate your audience now.
Now would be where you have that community group lead gen source goal. Mm-hmm. Now would be the full work for that, which is actually the topic we're talking about in What's Popping Con, is really how to strategize. And like you'd mentioned in that point earlier, psychology between turning community groups into sales powerhouses without violating the rules or becoming the admin's worst nightmare.
Yeah.
So now would be your time to investigate that. And if you listen to the podcast, tune in next week. We'll go through that page on the website that I added. Last one. If there are, per se, some typos on a website we shall not mention, and someone were to, per se, point out said typos. Could a certain twin bring back the little typo finding bonus mentioned in an episode not long ago? Okay, bet.
Hold on.
Wait until I do my proofread.
Yes.
But then, if I do my proofread and I still don't find it, I do not think it's spelled wrong, and it is. We'll bring that back.
Okay, I like that. It was helpful. It was a typo. But give me a chance. Give this girl who didn't do great in grammar a chance.
That's a funny one. We will bring that back. I'll make the announcement on the podcast.
Yeah. If you did not win or hear your text today, you can re-textal it in. Deb at 571-556-5644. Just because we didn't read it today doesn't mean we don't love your question. We love to hear it again.
Bring that stupid question back. If it's a question that you asked and it wasn't answered, you can text in the same question again. I will not notice.
Yeah, we will not notice.
Pull a Deb.
Deb
might be the person who won. We just don't know.
She might be commuting to Alaska right now. We don't know.
So moving on, again, the code for that is sugar.stupidcardtray.com or stupidtech.com. Corey's going to buy herself one. From other days, she's going to use that stackable code.
I am. Sugar.
Give me some
whatever.
Sugar. You booty.
Sugar.
I can't say, Maxie, but you can say sugar.
Give me some sugar.
Same meaning.
It's a key ingredient in sugar cookies.
The way you said it.
Oh, give me some sugar.
Moving on, we actually have a new podcast sponsor.
What?
Cookie Design Lab. They were a vendor for the Vending Blending. It's actually a lady and her husband that live kind of around here. Because when I complain about traffic,
she live in Northern Virginia. I want to say, what is that when the people say the neck? The Northern Neck.
I don't think we have.
Is that Maryland?
Neck. Yeah, that's on the. That's it.
There's a Del starts with a D. She lives out that way.
Oh,
like Alexandria area.
I know what you're talking about.
I know. Why can't I think of the West?
Starts with a D.
I don't go out that way.
It's the area. Anyways, they have. They want to be a podcast sponsor. It's so funny. They were a vendor for the Vending Blending. I needed to make a review video because you were doing the review videos, and I make your.
That was more your.
Right. So I was like, so they give me the login. It's just a simple log. You can use your Gmail. I don't have to make a new account. But I'll say that I found that app to be very, 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 very easy to use.
You did.
I was a little.
So tell us about what is it?
Cookie Design Lab is a online ability to make an STL file for a cookie cutter.
Nice.
And it's just so quick. Because it is web-based, I don't have to download Fusion 360.
Oh, yeah.
And turn on the computer. Yeah. A lot of these bigger applications, Fusion 360, I think you can build buildings with.
Okay.
So to put that on these laptops that people are using, we barely need to use it. It's just such a powerhouse.
Well, you saw how much my laptop was filled just this past weekend.
In our Lightroom backups.
Question for you about... So you said it's Cookie Design Lab. Mm-hmm. Can I purchase an STL file from a cutter shop and put it on there to print?
You don't need them. If you buy the STL, you have the file. Now, if you say, okay, I've gotten somebody, I have my 3D printer, I got my Bamboo A1 Mini.
Yeah.
I don't like Fusion 360. It's way too massive. It's a big data app.
Okay.
I just want to make the STL real quick. You're going to use cookiedesignlab.com. You're going to upload a PNG shape.
Okay.
And you're going to say, make this into a cookie cutter. Just go, boop, here you go.
Way.
Download STL print. So if you buy an STL from somebody else, don't need this.
Okay.
If you're like, I want to make my own STLs because that's getting expensive. Like, okay, it's still cheaper to make your own STLs than it is to buy one. You got to understand, don't steal people's STLs. Yeah. But if you were like, okay, my client sent me a picture and they want it as a cookie and I don't want to hire a cutter shop to make a custom STL because that's what it would be at this time. I want to do it myself. You're going to be able to use his app. You don't have to upload a PNG. You can actually move these dots along.
Yeah, because I actually have an order.
Okay.
And it's this lady holding she took a picture of this lady. She's getting a promotion and she's holding her promotion thing. And she's like, I would like this on a cookie. So
yeah, absolutely.
Like, oh, yeah.
So say you wanted to Eddie print it.
Yes.
Well, we'd still want the custom shape of the lady holding a sign.
Yeah.
Right? So you would take that shape. You could either cut it out in Canva or you could use his dots and move them around because
oh, that's nice.
And say I want this, and it's going to spit out an STL. You can say I want it to be like use more print filament.
Yeah.
Or I want it to use less. I just need the basic shape.
Oh, because I'll never use her shape again.
You won't. So to pay somebody, even if it's $5 to get a custom STL made by another shop, this is cheaper than that.
Yeah, that's nice.
And if you're really getting into printing your own cutters, this is a great app.
Is it a monthly subscription?
You know, they gifted it to me for the vending for that thing. I'll have to look into it. We're just starting the conversation about being a podcast sponsor. Frankly, she has emailed me a million times.
I'm sure.
And I gave her an apology.
I'm sure.
So I said, I'll mention it today. And I haven't even sent the invoice.
Okay, well, we'll get the details.
Yeah.
But I am really, really interested because I do now have a baby bamboo printer.
If you were like, Heather, I want to print cookie cutters, without a second thought, I'd be like, get your butt over here.
Okay, then I do.
Okay, let me see the pricing. I'm sorry. Oh, it's $100 per year.
Oh, that's very doable.
No automatic billing. Only renew it when you want to use it. Save as many cutters as you want to a personal library. Design and download unlimited cutters.
It's less than $10 a month.
So imagine just not buying one cutter.
Oh, yeah.
A month has,
that'd be a stealio.
If you're like, I find some of these cutter STL apps overwhelming, this one, I think you out the gate. I don't think I would even have to tell you how it works.
No way.
Yeah,
okay, well, that makes me really happy because I don't want to learn anything. My brain is at capacity.
You save that space for macros, baby girl.
Yeah, macros are taking 98%. I only got 2% left.
So, welcome to Cookie Design Lab. Moving on, we have
the Backers Co. The Backers Co. is a done-for-you photography studio.
It is a photography studio.
I just made sure to not say fur because people are like, it's not a dog studio. Photography. If you want to make more money in your business, my first tip is going to tell you to work on your photography. People buy with their eyes. It's in every magazine, on every ad. It's actually
a big aspect of what we're talking about in how to turn community groups into sales powerhouses is your photography.
Yeah. So using your photography can benefit your business big time. Lots of B's in there. You can go to the Backers Co. and get 25% off. It used to be 20% off for the longest. Now they're offering 25% off currently.
What is that code?
Using the code Sugar Cookie. Not plural.
Sugar Cookie singular. 25% off, which is not.
That's a lot.
That's not singular. That's plural.
If you want your Super Bowl season to go off without a hitch and you win.
Okay, here's the thing. I want to make December my biggest sales season of the year. Half that, I need to increase my photography. Half that, I need to buy Polar White at 25% off because I'm no idiot.
They don't do Polar White anymore, but they do White Matte Finish.
White Matte Finish. White Matte Finish. I like it. Next up, Bakety Bake by Royal Batches of Meringue Powder. Corey loves
it.
Code TWINS 10% at checkout. Has
white food coloring in it.
Has
vanilla extract.
Has
corn syrup in it.
Loves
Corey.
And Corey loves
it.
Okay, great. That code is TWINS. And then last but never least is Eddie, the edible food printer, which Heather Campbell Berkshire is actually teaching a Facebook Live at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time in the Cookie College.
Yeah, in the Cookie College.
You want to sign up?
Maybe we could bribe her to do it in the main. We'll see how she
maybe she want to reveal her secrets.
Maybe she didn't. Maybe she didn't.
Maybe she said, girl.
Yeah, but Eddie is a direct-to-food printer. Airbrush, be gone. Stencils, no more.
I like it.
Yeah, Eddie can print and what's so great is the industry now provides a lot of Eddie prints. So there's a lot of Eddie focused backgrounds, a lot of Eddie focused cookie cutters and prints.
Which is what Corey's literally doing. She's got this lady holding a sign. We're going to take it in a cookie design lab, make a cutter, and then she's going to bring Eddie, and Eddie's going to print the lady on the custom cookie that was made with the custom cookie cutter.
Yeah, I had an order this week that was due, and what the inspo picture that she had sent was someone had to take their Americolor gels, dilute it with alcohol, and paint these gingham lines on there. I said, not me, not today, Satan.
Control P.
So I actually took it into Eddie. It was perfect. I couldn't have hand painted it like that even if I wanted to.
Being able to print a hand painted texture, and I always come back to that Taylor Swift 1989.
Yes.
If it's not 1989, I'm sorry. Yeah. That shit cloud.
Yeah, what is that? There's a word for it.
I'm sorry. It is.
I've Googled it many a time.
Gradient.
A gradient. Yeah. So that's what Eddie is fantastic for. Eddie is also great for people who want to pursue corporate orders. Corporate orders will get you more money in your bakery, which could allow you to get that step into the brick and mortar. Do you see how we're halving it?
Oh, I like that. Girl, I asked on the Sugar Cookie Marketing Facebook page, which you should follow because it's different than the group. Because I get the mic by myself. I said using Vote Reacts, Laugh React, I have an Eddie printer. Wow React, I have a blue printer. Heart React, I have an edible image printer. Tear, I don't have a printer. Angry React, I don't have a printer either, but I'm a fuddy-duddy who judges bakers who embrace new technology that can increase their bottom lines because I love to complain about absolutely everything all the time. And if you don't do it my way, you're wrong. Nobody did it angry.
That's hilarious. Yeah, check out Eddie. There is no discount code for him.
Nope.
But he's fantastic. He's the coolest thing since sliced bread. Even every time I turn it on, fantastic.
No, Corey's really impressive.
I really love that dude.
She took that man from my house but left the carousel, which you need to
I left the carousel because my cookie room is so small. So small.
Although Eddie's desk space is pretty small. He's smaller than you think he is.
He's very, I can actually put
He's
my laptop on top of him and it's around the same block of size.
Yeah. I'll say he's a perfect square and the laptop's a rectangle, but that width is the same.
Yes.
We forgot to talk about our own product.
Well, we didn't even say What's Poppin' Con.
Oh, What's Poppin' Con?
Yeah.
Well, I've talked about it a lot. We're speaking at What's Poppin' Con. Code is...
You're going to have to look up that code.
The website with the typos on.
So what is What's Poppin' Con? It's the first ever Cake Poppers Conference.
Now,
So
who is a lady that hosts it and what is her business?
Amy. And
her
she
business is?
You got to tell me. It's Daisy Makes.
Yes.
Yeah, because I have a million of her.
Yeah, don't you buy
molds.
Don't you have a ton?
Wasn't
Isn't that where we got the Easter?
Yeah, but that was through Sweet Teller Treats had partnered with Daisy
They're
Makes.
both involved
And they
in
will
What's Poppin'
both
Con.
be there. So What's Poppin' Con is happening in Kent, Ohio. Literally next week.
Sunday. Through
Sunday.
Tuesday, and if you stay an extra day, you can go for Wednesday.
Yeah.
The code is twins. You can save $25 off. The tickets are still $50 off, so you could add another $25 off. And now they've gotten all those add-on classes teed up that will happen on Sunday earlier.
Nice.
So Sunday, add-on classes. Then there's a mix and mingle. That's 6.
Listen, my head at the mix and mingle.
My head is mingling.
I'm already mixed and
The
mingled.
next day, they're core classes.
Yeah.
They definitely look like... I like that a lot of them are about marketing and sales.
I think it's
The
fantastic.
add-on classes are about learning
Yes,
cake pops.
yeah.
These ones are like, how do we make money with cake pops?
Yeah.
Corey and I are speaking on Tuesday at 10:30 to 11:30 on these...
Well, they don't want my expertise on cake popping.
You're saved. Next, we'll be teaching on macarons. No, we're talking about turning local... And, I did write the script, and I got to compliment myself.
It's really, really good.
Corey was reading it. She's like, you know what? You bring up a good point here. Let's add this. I was like, good. That's the energy I want, where it's a little bit more technical, a little bit more psychological.
Honestly, I'm going to say, if you go to our class, you're going to be able to take something from it and implement it that night and see the benefits tomorrow.
That's what I told Amy. I said, Amy, we could be real broad here. I want to half it and half it again.
Yeah.
I want something that they can learn, that they already have access to, that if they do it tonight, they can make money tomorrow.
We didn't want any barrier of entry, like you have to buy software.
How to
or something
maximize
like
your
that.
website sales, because then you'd need the website.
Yeah,
What's
yeah.
something we can all join a Facebook community group while we sit there and
Right.
class?
I think it's delectable.
I'll actually have them join a demo Facebook community group, and we will go through that community group.
Yeah, I
together.
can't wait. I think I'm very excited after reading the little...
Thank you so much.
Yeah, way to go. You did great.
I'll have to say compliments to you for making me admin your local community group
You're
where
welcome.
I went through hell.
I did that against
and learned that
You're
stuff. So again, if you go to the Sugar Cookie Marketing website and scroll past all those typos, at the very bottom I have all these codes listed out with hyperlinks to these websites. So Stupid Car Tray, 15% off code sugar. Backers code, 25% off code sugar cookie. Actually, I have to update that. Eddie Printer, no code, but cool.
Yes.
Royal Badge Twins, 10% off. We should probably have these all be the same, but whatever.
Yeah,
it's fun to make them
whatever
work for
they
it.
wanted to do.
Bosch and Nutrimil, if you use code Sugar Cookies, you can get $20 off and checking out. And then What's Poppin' Con, code Twins, $25 off. That's in Kent, Ohio this weekend.
Yeah, I hope to see you there.
That'd be cool.
Let's pop in, pop out.
The first of anything ever, and we're invited to it. I am about
I'm honestly honored that you even thought of us.
right? I was like, we are a sugar
I was like,
cookie.
Gina, I'm still in the midst of learning these. And she was like, we don't want you for K-pop knowledge. You have none.
But I can guarantee if you come to the class, you're going to learn something about community groups that I don't think you
Yeah.
know.
And I want to say, I love the cookie community, but the cake pop community.
We guys all went through it together.
I think cake pop, you are, baptized by fire. The cake pop
The
community.
macaron people, you guys are wounded.
Yeah, I don't know. You're like,
You guys are like, does anybody have a Band-Aid to pass around?
yeah, but I'm really excited. I think it'll be fun.
Cool. Back to our own product.
Oh, yeah.
I'm trying to bully Corey into running a midsummer membership sale.
We'll see.
I don't know.
We'll see.
We'll see. But
What are you talking about, Heather? What sale on what?
you heard it here first in the podcast, where Corey can't make me shit up. Maybe. But okay, the Cookie College is a collection of 5 different memberships we offer. If you've listened to the podcast at all, you've heard about it. Our goal, much like the class we're teaching on Tuesday, is to help people who take one class be able to implement that and sell more. Our goal is to cover our cost plus $1, because then why would you leave us?
Yeah, so if you are saying to yourself, I want to grow my business in 2025, huge. We're going to half it. I want to join the Cookie College. That's halved.
I want to set up an email list that I can have curated by our Cookie Super
There
Bowl
you
in
go.
December.
There you go.
And I can help you do that because I've already done it many times.
Yes.
And you get the mastermind group. Again, I keep saying Heather Campbell Brookshire. is teaching a Facebook Live in the Cookie College group. That Cookie College group, Kia wrote yesterday, and she's like, I love this group.
Yeah, that's it. She's like, that is all.
Yeah, I mean, nobody can bully me here. Everything's real strategic.
Yeah.
We only help each other.
It's people who are in the mindset of growth coming together and helping each other grow.
Like it's not the cheapest thing in the world, right? So we're at $76. I've got to make it worth your $76.
Yeah.
So I got to make sure that every time you ask a question, there's got to be an answer that moves you closer to your goal.
Yes.
And then in that group, we have a bunch of people with that same mentality who are like, well, I'm going to help them because I've been helped by somebody else.
Yeah.
And it kind of really perpetuates that, let's get this bread.
Yeah, I love each and every roomie. When I see them in the main, I'm like, I don't got to worry about them.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Ashley, guys,
Yeah.
I appreciate you.
Yeah.
Every camera, every day.
Katrine. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, no, you guys are fantastic. We'd love to have more roomies because it's fun.
We have more room for more roomies.
Yeah. Here's the thing. If you join the college in the Super Bowl and you're like, where are my sales or whatnot? The time to join the college is now to set you up for success when it comes to Q3.
I agree.
So I will say, we got roomie space now. So if you're thinking about it, let's help you now set the foundation so that you aren't running around like a chicken with its head cut off come November.
And since Corey can't stop me here, you may be thinking maybe I'll just wait till whatever this possible membership sale is. You can still cash in on a membership sale. If you sign up today, you can switch over to that cheaper plan. Just saying.
We haven't even discussed anything like
I'm budding pressure. Got me an audience. Okay, Twinterest, do you have one? Oh, I want to just say the Father's Day cookie class kit will be dropping on the 7th. It's a very cute compliment to the Mom's Day, which was very floral. This is very masculine.
Yeah, this is that Mother's Day one groovier because the flowers are like groovy. The M is
a lot of movement.
This is like Dad, the good old boy, good old bud.
I would position this as for the mother who needs to buy her husband something for the kids. Have the kids decorate the cookies and give them to Dad.
I mean, a mother and child bonding sesh or a gift for Dad.
Making Dad sit down and bond with his child and decorate the cookies. There's a lot there. And I think Father's Day
and it's very cute. It is very cute.
Yeah, we got a golf ball, a
beers and cheers to Dad.
Beers and cheers and a tie.
And
then we're actually spelling out the word Dad like we did in the other one, the word Mom.
Yes, but very easy writing.
And more of a masculine color tone.
Yes.
Gray, blue, white, navy.
Not navy. Oh.
Yellow.
Yes.
I like it. Mustard.
It is Dijon. No, just kidding. It's egg yellow. Dijon was what
Dijon.
we used in the other.
Korean France. Macaron.
Do you have a Twinterest? Do you have a Twinterest?
Yes. And I'll be posting it for the people on YouTube.
What?
I like my cat.
Yeah, I love them too.
It would be akin, though, to having a kid.
Mm-hmm. Yours
that
specifically.
I cannot reason with, who cries a lot for attention.
Do move at every meow.
I'm a motivated meower. Mm-hmm. If you meow at me, you're going to get something's going to happen.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, he's learned that. So I was like, well, I like the concept of a cat tree. He's also very short, and I think he likes climbing.
Yes.
I don't like the commitment of a cat tree.
Really?
Yeah, because
you
always see him on the roadside.
I've had many a cat tree. Cat will not tree in it.
If you buy a cat tree and the cat does not tree upon it, you've now got a huge problem.
I agree.
And you can't really put it in your car and do anything with it.
No.
And then you try to give it away, but it's got cat stuff on it, and people don't like cross-contamination. Yeah. So I Googled it. There is a cat castle made of cardboard. A lot of C's in this.
Yes, I'm staring at it right now.
I built it.
Yeah.
I'll be posting it on YouTube.
It is large, maybe nearly as tall as I am.
It's about 5 foot. And it is made completely of recyclable cardboard with cat scratchers and levels, and they can climb up. He's been up to the top. He's been to the bottom. My new thing is throwing treats various places in there, and he flops around to try to get them.
It's quite the contraption.
It is. I said it was $88.
Oh, $88.
Not the cheapest thing in the world. No. Amazon. But
recyclable.
I can get rid of it.
Yeah.
I can recycle it fully.
And you could tear it down and gift it to somebody else, I'm sure.
You're not going to see me do that. But it was very easy to assemble. I will say that the instructions were completely backwards.
Okay.
I kind of did it off of visual.
Yeah, I did a visual. Yeah.
While I was building it, the cat was in it. Proof of life that it was going to be liked.
Yeah.
He likes it as long as I'm playing with him in it. Unfortunately, it wasn't the distraction I hoped it would be, but that is my Twinterest.
Oh, it's a good Twinterest. That is a good Twinterest.
I put all of his toys he's lost interest in. It turns out that's a big thing. It's on a warning label on all these kitten toys.
That
Your cat will lose interest. Please put this away for a couple months.
Oh, that's hilarious.
And bring it back out. So I put all the toys in there, and it kind of woke him up.
Yeah, it really did. Yeah. My Twinterest was anesthesia is wild.
What?
Anesthesia
Oh, they said Anastasia. I said, what'd she
Anastasia
do?
is wild too. Anastasia is wild. I'm missing 2-ish hours of my life.
But do you think it's like somebody else was fighting for their life? Somebody else was rendering service. Somebody else was using their PhD on you. And you just was like, I'm going to take a little nap.
I said,
here.
what? I don't know what
Seconds
you did.
of your life passed.
It felt like mere seconds. I was counting 10, 9. I don't even think I got to
That
8.
countdown, and I've only been under anesthesia once, is great.
It's wild.
Yeah.
And then I wake up and then it's all done.
The coming to, though, hate it.
Coming to, she was like, are you shaking because you're told? I said, I think I'm just shaking because whatever just happened and I don't know what it was.
I did make a post about it. I said, Corey's out for the next 3 hours. We have a house party in the Sugar Cookie Market. And someone's like, you should go pick her up. And I said, no, her husband already volunteered. He's getting all the sedated secrets that I always wanted.
Yeah, I know. They were like, they went to my husband. They were like, well, we're really having troubles waking her up.
You love to sleep.
Yeah, and he was like, well, she's doing her number one favorite thing to do, so you're going to have an issue.
Corey sleeps like, your little Fitbit must be like, did you pass away? Every morning.
Mine always says, girl, you nailed your sleep goals.
That's crazy. So your twin dress is anesthesia?
Yeah, that's all I had. I didn't really do anything because it was just prepping literally for that. So I cleaned the house. I pre-baked all the cookies that I needed to do this week so it would be ready so I could just sit. I'm going through NCIS.
Oh, hey, sometimes I did that as a water cooler on Fridays now in the cookie group because we're so strict with the rules. I thought it'd be nice to let loose a little bit.
I love a good. I have it saved that thread.
So the last week's Friday's water cooler question was, what's something you're binging right now? And a lot of people are going back through old stuff. A lot of Grey's Anatomy, a lot of The Office.
NCIS has 50 bazillion seasons.
It's good.
So if you need to get lost in the sauce, I've just been binging it.
I watch Schmucks in the City. That's mine. Yes. I can let it play in the background because if I miss it, I'll know what I missed because I've seen it so many times.
For sure.
But I can just dial in when I want to, dial out when TikTok's playing.
Yeah. I tried to get into 1923. Harrison Ford's in it. It's a precursor of Yellowstone.
Oh, you were into Yellowstone.
I watched all of Yellowstone, hated the ending. So I was like, let me watch 1923. It's something you have to be tuned into.
Was that a spoiler?
What?
We hated the ending. I've never watched it, but I would be like that. Here's the thing. I never watched Lost. I know the ending's not great.
Lost is a great one. But
the ending.
Find it. Yeah, it was horrendous.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Didn't the
Dexter,
Dragon Queen?
Horrendous.
Isn't the Dragon Queen? Everyone's like, no.
The Dragon Queen? Whatever the Game of Thrones was. I love the whole thing.
But everyone said, last one.
I couldn't get into it. I couldn't finish it. I tried.
Westworld, I've heard. It must be hard to get that much hype. You know, Breaking Bad, I'm going to say all the way to the end, edge of my seat.
Yeah, that was fantastic. That was
ridiculous.
Fantastic. You know what I'm trying to find? And I watched it so many years ago. It actually doesn't stream anywhere. You have to buy it. Nurse Jackie. If I recall,
you talk about that so much that I've heard you talk about it.
I know, but I said, let me try to find it. I cannot find it. I think I have to buy it on Amazon for like
sometimes I do. But do you know that sometimes when you buy stuff, it doesn't mean you get to keep it forever?
I know. Because I did. What was that one with Tom Cruise we just watched?
Jack Reacher?
No.
Mission Impossible? Top Gear?
Top Gun.
Top Gun?
Close. Yeah. I had to rent it for 30 days and they took it back.
Well, you can also buy it sometimes.
Yeah, to buy something in streaming. I don't know. My brain's like, I need something physical.
You know, I was watching. I was gonna rent it, but then I found it on your Paramount Plus subscription.
What?
The Big Short.
Oh yeah,
it's a decent watch. It's a 2008 housing market.
It's
crash.
A movie though.
A movie, but it's kind of boring because it's economics.
Yes.
So they get really famous actors to give you the definitions.
Oh, I'll have to watch it.
Like Margot Robbie is like, here's what that means. And
so
Selena Gomez is like, here's what that means.
Yeah. Right now, I only have Paramount Plus is my only thing.
I have Netflix.
Yeah, but because Netflix doesn't do the share thing.
Yeah.
I've only had Paramount Plus, and that's why NCIS is on there.
Nick is buying you Netflix for your
Yes, he is. He's going to.
Your anniversary is May 4th. It's on my calendar for some reason.
May the 4th. And my dog's birthday is May the 6th. So what's popping, Con? You're getting the best of Corey. A lot of people are missing out on this chick right here. Okay, guys.
We will see you at What's Popping Con if you'll be there. And if not, we'll talk about that topic on next week's podcast.
Next week after next week? Or
next
the
week.
days
Yeah,
after?
we come back on Tuesday. And, oh, shoot.
Right, I know. We could do it on Wednesday or something.
We'll do a podcast on Wednesday.
All right, friends. Goodbye. Goodbye.